So this is my very first intense bike, and this is the 951. Now, first off, I do have to say, this is the smallest bike box that I've seen. Show you guys what this looks like. I mean, look at this sucker. It's packed in here really good. I think the main difference is the rear wheel is not on and the front wheel is not on. I actually kind of like this a lot better. Oh, look at this. This is rad. Check this thing out. Came with this nice bag. Let's see what all is in this. This is probably all the tools and everything to put this thing together. Holy cow. Look at this. It came with tire sealant. That's insane. That is the first time I've ever seen a bike manufacturer ship tire sealant. Very cool. So it came with two, one for each tire. You've got a torque wrench. You've got a shock pump. You've got a three-way, and you've got all the bits that you need. This is very impressive intense. Already off to a really good start. That's a cool little add-on. Then we got some more stuff over here. Looks like we got some little bits, some odds and ends, some screws, some reflectors. Looks like it might be some grease. All the instruction manuals for your dropper post, for the actual 951. Looks like this is a 2023 model, and you do get a water bottle. Very cool. Let's see if any of these will come out. I'm also liking the fact that I'm not seeing any zip ties used at all. These pieces of cardboard are held on by these like little cuts in the cardboard, and it just folded over. This is really cool packaging. And these are going to be WTB wheels and Kenda tires. Specifically, these are the Kenda Pioneer Pro 2.4. So 2.4 inch wide tires, TRP brakes. So this is going to come with some TRP brakes. You got the rotors right here, 180 millimeters, and the front is also 180 millimeters. Let's look at this cassette. Comes pre-installed with a dork disc. We'll have to remove that, but we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We've got a 12-speed made by SRAM. I'm excited about this. Never ridden one of these bikes before, or this brand. Woo, that looks good. All right, let's get all this stuff off of here, and then we'll put it in the, actually, you know what? Let's see if we can raise this seat post, and I'll just put it in my stand, and we'll start building it up. Let's drop it. Nailed it. Oh, looks like the derailleur even comes not mounted. That's interesting. Haven't ever seen that before on a bike. A little bit more work on this one, but you do have a SRAM NX rear derailleur, so a high quality mid-level derailleur. Let's see if this is a UDH or if this is a standard derailleur hanger. Not that UDH is that big of a deal, but it is nice if it is there because they're easy to find hangers if you ever have a problem. And it is UDH, so these hangers are the universal derailleur hanger. Should be really easy to find if you ever have any trouble. Plus, you'll be able to do things like potentially go with the SRAM transmission. This paint looks beautiful so far. Whew, that is nice. All right, I discovered my first zip ties. There's two right here. Looks like 4-piston brakes in the back. Should be a good stopper if that's the case. Be curious to see what's up front. Let's go ahead, let's mount up that rear derailleur. Super easy process. Just make sure you line it up. Don't cross thread. Slowly start to install it. I'll be curious to see if this is already like properly set up, if you have to do any type of adjustment. Looks like it's a Fox 36 Rhythm. Very nice fork on here. And we have a 4-piston up front too, so we should have a lot of stopping power on this bike, especially for how lightweight this bike feels. I've heard some really good things about intense bikes. My buddy Colin over at Ace Bike Media has an Intense, and let me tell you, watching him ride, he is a very, very good rider, a much better rider than what I am. If he says that it's a good brand, I fully believe him, because he truly rides his bikes so much harder than what I ever do. Let's get this stem turned around here. Get that as straight as we can, and we'll probably have to straighten this again, and then we'll torque everything down. Let's take a look at these bars. They're Intense brand bars. TRP Slate 4T are the brakes. These look nice. I have never used the Slate version of TRP brakes, but there's a few things that I really like about TRP brakes, and that is usually the lever pull on them feels really, really good. So TRP is going to be basically Tektro branded, but a higher end. And the rotors on TRP brakes are always thicker than, say, Shimano or SRAM. So that generally makes them cool down a little bit faster, giving them a little bit different brake feel than, say, the other brands. I really, really like TRP stuff, but I'm a huge Tektro brake fan as it is. Looks like you get an Intense branded headset also. A lot of company branded stuff on here, which is all right to see, because it looks like they did a really good job of making it look nice. Sometimes you get branded stuff and it's just too much of the brand name everywhere. This seems really subtle, and got these things upside down and backwards. Let's try this again. All right, where are we at here? And that's what we want to do right there. And it looks like this is a no gap stem here, which I love to see, because no gap stems are just easier to install. This is coming together really easily. Not really much more work than, say, a bike that would come, say, 85 to 90% put together with like the rear wheel on. There's just a few extra things that we have to do. Mount up that rear derailleur, which it comes with the tools for everything you need to do on that. We'll see how this thing is dialed in. And if it's dialed in really well, I mean, I'd rather have the smaller box with the packing the way that it's packed up on this brand. All right, let's see how we get this thing off of here. Let's check out the main triangle. And it does look like we get a piggyback rear shock here. This Fox float, this looks a lot like the Fox float that I've used on another one of my bikes that I've got. Now, this particular bike is on sale right now. So if you guys are interested in that, like I said, Bikes Online sells these. So you can check out my link down below. If you guys choose to buy one through there and you use my links, it comes back, helps out this channel. I really appreciate it. It doesn't cost you any extra. Just lets Bikes Online know that, hey, you came to my video, you watched it, and you decided to buy a bike. So if you want to help out the channel just a little bit, I would greatly appreciate it. Every little bit helps, keeps this channel going. Man, this bike looks so good. This color is amazing. And the tubing on this, I'll have to get some close-ups of this, but there's an angle right here, and then it goes to flat. Man, this just looks so good. Listen to that. Carbon. God, sounds so good. This bike looks beautiful. Holy cow. I am thoroughly impressed with this. I mean, if this bike rides as good as it looks, we're in for a treat. We are in for a treat. You got single-sided lock-on, Intense branded headset. Let's see, SRAM NX front chain ring and crank set. Intense branded dropper post. Looks like you got the SRAM NX front shifters. Yeah, this bike looks really, really dialed. All right, let's take this off of here and let's put on the front wheel. We're gonna have to definitely put some air in this front fork. It is not fully extended. All right, let's just go ahead. Nice thing about this dork disc is that it's very, very small. It only goes to like right where this one starts. So in theory, we should be able to loosen it and then easily cut this right here. Easy. Oh, is that a tube? That's a tube. It does have a tube in it. Well, I thought that was tubeless. All right, well, we'll have to set these up tubeless, but that's for another day. Oh, this is cool. This has a little deal that can pop out and allow you to kind of thread the axle on. Gotta get some air in this tire. Let's get my pump and we'll pump these things up. Here's my favorite pump, the Psych Plus. This is the AS2 Pro Max, the bigger one that they make. I love this thing. It just makes it just so much easier around the shop, around the trail, so much easier. Now this is a size large that I've got. Yeah, it looks really good. I'll be curious to see. The dimensions on this were a little bit different than some of the other bikes that I've built up and used over this past year. So it's gonna be real interesting to see how this bike feels in comparison to those. I have noticed that this does have a flip chip in it. I think this is the first bike that I've ever tested out with a flip chip. So I'm gonna be kind of curious to see how that works and if I notice a difference. Did notice that the hub is Intense branded also. Lots of Intense parts on here. Ow, that was hot. So the only thing about these pumps is that it can make the valve so hot. That might be why you can get these bikes for so inexpensive, is they did a lot of in-house branded stuff. And we gotta get rid of these. All right, this came with a shock pump, but I'm gonna go ahead and use my Entity digital shock pump. It's just a little bit better. PSI. There we go. We can see the forks extending now, so we are good. This Entity shock pump works really, really well. It is kind of expensive at times. Sometimes you can find it on sale, but I love the fact that it's digital. And even at higher pressures, it feels real easy to use. It's got that braided hose, which I don't know if it's necessary, but I think it makes it look a little bit more durable. All right, that's 90. We'll leave it at 90 for now, and then I can adjust it later. So I'll need to mess with the rebound and probably just rebound down here, and then we have a little bit of compression right up here with the grip adjustment, either firm or open, and then you've kind of got an in between. Now this one I'm gonna air up to about 190 based off of kind of how I run all my other rear shocks. That's pretty close. I usually wind up fine tuning them. This one has a rebound adjustment, off or firm. It doesn't look like it's technically a lockout, but looks like it's either open or closed. Let's do 187. That'll be good enough. I can get the sag set up later. That is the Intense 951 Trail. This is a carbon bike, looks beautiful. I just need to throw on some pedals. I don't ride flat pedals, so I'm gonna need to throw on some clipless pedals. I'll eventually do tubeless on this before I go out on my first ride. But yeah, great setup. I mean, nice dropper post. It's got a pretty decent looking lever. Doesn't look like it has a bearing in it, but it feels really, really smooth. Feels really similar to like a Shimano lever. I'm excited to try out these TRP Slate T4 brakes. The levers look awesome. You even have some reach adjustment right here. And then the SRAM NX, I already know that that's rock solid. It's a 12 speed. You've got the dub bottom bracket on here, which looks like it's connected to possibly a 32 tooth front chain ring. Fox suspension, Kenda tires. This thing looks dialed, guys. It looks dialed. If you're interested in more on this bike, definitely check out the link down below in the description. I'm gonna be doing a full ride review on this, but thanks for watching, guys. And yeah, as always, get out there and ride your bike.